Because why not? We might as well laugh about it.
Yeah, might as well.
That's the same. That's what I was doing with my pottery. You gotta laugh about it.
Okay. Gotta laugh about it. All right, so we are now live.
Why not? We might as well laugh about it.
Oh, I thought I muted this. Well,
That's the same. That's what I was doing with my pottery. You gotta laugh about it. Here we are.
okay, that now we shouldn't be hearing sound from there. All right, we're just gonna give it a few moments as people get on. Oh my goodness.
Are you trying to compete with Lila for two?
Oh.
They smell.
It's gross. It's gross.
Is he crop dusting?
Yes.
I tooted.
Oh my gosh. Guys, we're live on YouTube right now. Like this is just like us being live on YouTube. Oh my goodness. And now there's less people watching than there were. All right, let's
We're grossing them out.
Yeah. We're grossing our fans out.
Oh.
All right, let's do that. No, let's do that.
That was so funny. It seems like it's kind of
Okay. Let's get this party started. All right. Well, welcome everyone. If you're watching live, I'm glad that you're here. If you're watching a recording, I'm sorry. I don't know. Anyways, as you may have noticed, we are back in our kitchen. So had a bit of a COVID scare. We got a little what's the term for it? We got
we're quarantining.
We're quarantining. I wrote it wrong though in the email. We're quarantining. And so we're running services from my kitchen. For those of you that are with us in the 2020s, you recognize my kitchen, I bet. For those of you who are first time here, welcome. This is the Good Scenes kitchen. So this is where we run services when we do it from home. So, anyways, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have Asher and Lila and Leia light the Shabbat candles. Yeah, we are. Yeah. And when we were doing this in 2020, we didn't have this recent addition. It's the new thing, the new Goodstein. Oh gosh.
Good. Oh
gosh.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
I whacked it one time.
Okay. And I'm gonna actually light it.
Okay.
You want to hold my hand while we do it? Oh. Okay, ready?
It's time to love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotah v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We did it. What were you doing, Asher?
I just saw my face.
Oh my God. Yes. Classic. It's a classic Shabbat thing to do. The well-known Shabbat face slap. Yeah. It's just tradition. All right, Asher. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So we're gonna now. The Mitra brothers have awesomely joined us, and so in a few moments they're gonna take it from here on page. What page are we, Mitra brothers?
Brothers.
They're coming. What page are we on? Page 128. Oh, they're gone. Uh-oh. Well, it's just you and me for now. Okay, well, as the Mitra brothers try to get back on, we will I guess I'll get things started. Okay, so I'm on page 128, and I'm going to sing Hine Matov. I'm hoping the Mitra brothers find themselves back on our Zoom so we can have them sing as well. But here we go. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Okay, we are moving on to page, let's do Shalom Aleichem on page 142. Here we go. Oh, wait, actually, Mutual Brothers are back. Let's see if I can get them, on. Hey, are you guys there?
Yes.
Continue. Okay, there's the Mitra brothers. You can see them. Hopefully you'll be able to hear them. We're on Shalom Aleichem right now, y'all, on page 142, okay?
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon. Mi melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי אלוהים. מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Gosh, I'm remembering how, like, during kitchen service, we had a whole different set than we did in person. And now I'm trying to remember back, what did we do? So I think we went from there, we moved to the Baruch Hu on page 146, right? Okay, so Baruch Hu 146, meet your brothers.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Le'olam Va'ed.
Okay, we're moving over to 148 for Micha Mocha.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'im Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh norati lo. Osef Eleino Ravilo, Osef Ele, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
All right, we're now moving into the Shema, which you can find on page 152 of your prayer books. And if I remember correctly, when we did the Shema online, we recited it using American Sign Language. Wasn't that how we did it?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to do that tonight. So American Sign Language, while we're reciting the Shema, we're going to start with our hands right next to our ears like this. And it goes like this. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And what that means is pay attention. Israel, the people. This is an expansive view of God, personal view of God, expansive view of God. Everything is one. All right, I am now going to recite the Via Hafta, which you can find on page 154 of your prayer books. Here we go. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levacha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meyodecha v'hayuhu hadevarim ha'elem asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinartam levarnecha b'divarta bam v'shivtcha beveitecha Uvatecha hava derech ushofbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot beineinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tiskeru v'asitem echol mitzvotai v'yitem kiroshim leiloechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hetzietchem Eretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. All right. We are now moving over to Micha Mocha. Wait, did you guys just sing Micha Mocha?
Yeah, we just sang Micha Mocha.
Oh, I'm just catching that just now. Oh boy. Service faux pas.
We're going to do Shamru.
Maybe you could do a. Oh, is there a different Micha Mocha that you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha neder b'kodesh, Nora tehilo tosef eleh, Nora tehilo tosef eleh. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה לה יא לה יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה.
Okay, so now let's go to Vashamru on page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני רובין, בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Excellent. So we move into the Amidah, and we're going to do it differently since we're doing it online. I'm going to recite the first 2 or 3 pages, and then Mutual is going to go right into Oseh Shalom after that. So we start on page 164. Adonai sefatai titach uhufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach uhufi yagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol V'Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot Umevi geula livnei v'neihem leman shemo b'ahava melech ozer u'mashiach u'magen baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham ezrat Sarah atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechayei hakol atah Rav Yoshia Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem mechalkel chayim bechesed mechayei hakol berachamim rabim somech noflim berofei cholim umatir asurim umakayem emunato lishanei afar michamocha ba'al gevurot umidoho melach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmirach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lechayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye hakol. We now continue on page 180 for Oseh Shalom by the Mitra Brothers.
Oseh Shalom bimromav Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
All right, thank you, Mutual Brothers. I am now going to say a few words of Torah from my kitchen. So I'm going to blow myself up real quick and make myself a little bigger. And give me a few moments to also pull up my sermon. Okay, here we go. So this week's Torah portion has a really unique feature. Most features in our Torah are like literary based, since we tend to focus on the contents of the words in our Torah. However, this feature is more of a physical outcropping of the text itself. Pre-COVID, if you joined our Simchat Torah celebration, where we unfurl the entire scroll, you would notice this portion right away. The text abruptly ends its normal large columns of Hebrew and changes into a series of playful smaller columns. These unique columns are called the Song of the Sea, and its home is in this week's Torah portion. And since I'm on Zoom, I can actually show you what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick, and you can see what I mean by that. There is a regular column here before it. You can see this. This is the Song of the Sea. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. In this narrative of our Torah and our people, this part of the story is incredibly important. Moses and the Israelites have just crossed the Red Sea, narrowly escaping the Egyptian charioteers coming down upon them. And for the first time since their escape, and really for the first time ever, they're able to breathe freely. No longer are the Israelites slaves to the Egyptians. They're now free to make their own choices, have their own identity, and openly worship Adonai. This moment is so important that it reaches out and subverts the normal consistency of the Torah columns of Hebrew into a reorganized text that I just showed you a moment ago. And the Torah only does this during one of the most triumphant and joyous moments of our people's history. And I love it. I love how it's not hatred, loss, or hardship that breaks our physical text, but joy. Joy has the power to change something that feels unchangeable. It's a refreshing perspective, a perspective that contrasts greatly as we watch how COVID also has the power to change what feels unchangeable. All of our current examples of great change have come from the hardship of this virus. And maybe some of this change was always necessary, but it certainly doesn't compel us to sing to God with the joy of freedom. Anyway, so let me tell you a little bit more about the Song of the Sea. First off, it's attributed to Moses, with the last two lines attributed to Miriam. Now, we have already waded deep into a scholarly argument. Feminist scholars point out that triumphant battle songs are normally composed and sung by women as their soldier husbands, fathers, and sons come home victorious from war. So there are many scholars out there that feel the whole Song of the Sea should be attributed to Miriam and not just the last two lines, mainly because there is lots of battles, there's a lot of battle imagery in the song. For example, in chapter 15, verse 7, the poem states, "In your great triumph, you break your opponents. You send forth your fury. It consumes them like straw." In fact, many scholars just call the whole poem the Song of Miriam, which does get a bit confusing since the song itself at the end states, "Then Miriam the prophet, Aaron's sister, picked up a hand drum, and all the women went out after her and danced with hand drums. And Miriam chanted to them, 'Sing to Adonai, for God has triumphed gloriously. Horse and driver God has hurled into the sea.'" The poem itself directly attributes the last two lines to Miriam, while many scholars attribute the whole thing to Miriam. So if you ever hear about this, in like your day-to-day conversations that you have with people, and someone says the Song of Miriam, you can now ask them, are you talking about the whole Song of the Sea or just those last two lines? And you will feel really smart for doing it. So you're welcome for that little nugget of wisdom. Anyways, these last lines are incredibly inspirational, where joy is expressed through making music and dancing. It's impressive that Miriam oversees this physical expression of joy. And I find this moment way more powerful than the poem itself. As a people of doing, expressing joy through dancing and merrymaking feels way more aligned to our tradition than reciting poems with bellicose themes. And Miriam is such a beloved character for instigating this form of joy. So songs in our Tanakh are often considered to be older than the narrative text around it, and they're usually in the poem format. The Song of the Sea is no exception. Scholars believe that this song or this poem was composed somewhere between the 12th and 11th century BCE, and it's much older than the text that precedes it. The Song of the Sea, while offering lots of imagery of crushing Egyptian charioteers, seems to cover other accomplishments as well. Scholars believe that the Song of the Sea is referencing a cosmic battle between Adonai and Baal, the Canaanite god of water. The song also strangely mentions Philistia, Edom, Moab, and Canaan. And it says, and I quote, "Agony grips the dwellers of Philistia. Now are the clans of Edom dismayed. Tribes of Moab trembling grips them. All dwellers in Canaan are aghast." The Song of the Sea has this vibe of saying, tribes of Canaan, we are coming for you. In conclusion, the Song of the Sea has taught me that celebrating joy should never be delayed. The Israelites celebrated their freedom literally at the moment of the closing of the Red Sea. They celebrated their joy so hard that they changed the very text of our Torah. All right, thank you. We're now going to move on. And so I'm going to bring the Mitra brothers back. Do y'all remember what we did after this part? I think we went over to, we went right to Misha Berach. Thank you. Yes, the Misha Berach. And give me just a moment to figure that out. Okay, yes, we're turning to page 371 for the Misha Berach, and the individuals who need healing in our community today are Tina Mink, Chris Converse, Jennifer Eskridge, Ian Clift, David Tobias, Kitty Flagel, Lindsay Raber, Micah Purdy, Cheryl Embryani, Laura Allen, Susan Super, Mary Jo Robinson, Melba Cook, Emmy Webb, Stephen Lamp, Russell Crass, Bill Ross, Alan Friedman, Russ Nog, Ross Rumack, Norma Haas, Ray Ellis, Judy Cantor, Carol Ribbon, Diane Kaplan, Craig Paulus, Philip Kaufman, Nicole Neeson, and Jane Anderson. If there's anyone who you are thinking of, please feel free to think about them in your hearts or type their names in the YouTube live chat feature. And the brothers are going to sing the Misha Berach melody.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Okay, thank you, brothers. We're now going to move to the Mourner's Kaddish, which you can find on page 598 of your prayer books. I'm just going to blow myself up. Okay. And the yard sites that we're thinking about in our own community right now are Max Arnovitz, John Bowman, Sylvia Goodstein, Nisel Mike Rose, and Vivian Schiff. If there's someone who you are thinking about, please feel free to type their names in the YouTube live chat feature or think about them in your hearts. Zikronom livracha, may the memory be for a blessing. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chayotei v'yamlik malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayerechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarak le'olam ulamei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitbramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemid kudashah barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiram be'elma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya. V'chayim aleni v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleni v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. All right, so I guess announcements next. So we got a busy weekend, which I can partake in some of it. But anyway, so we have Judaism 101 tomorrow at 9. We're talking about the Jewish calendar. So please join us to that with our normal Zoom room. Then at 10:30, we have our normal text study. And then tomorrow is the third Saturday of the month, which means we're gonna volunteer at the mobile food bank at the Fairview Rec Center. I'll be able not to go because I'm still quarantining, but if you can go, please do. And then Sunday we have religious school as normal starting at 9:30 and for Hebrew. And then we have morning minyan at 8 on Wednesdays. 8 a.m. On our Zoom room. So I think that's everything. So I appreciate you all joining us. I was COVID exposed, but I'm not feeling any symptoms. I may not even have it. I don't know yet. I'm hoping next week we can be back in person and I'll be at the sanctuary, not in my kitchen. I don't know. That's the goal. So, but I appreciate you all being flexible about this situation. And, I'm kind of thrilled to leave services in my kitchen again. So it's pretty fun. All right. So closing melody. You guys don't know O Zivazim Ra, do you?
We did do it one time, but
that one. I'm sorry to like pounce you on that one, but that's actually, that song is the first few words of the Song of the Sea that I said my thing about, but I didn't say anything to you until now. So we don't have to do it at all. But I just wanted to just curious. I forgot what you knew, if you knew that one or not.
Yeah, I remember we did it one time, but we haven't done it ever since then.
Okay. How about you guys choose a song that works for you?
Okay.
Maya Fea.
What page are we on?
128.
Okay.
Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, thank you, Mitra Brothers. This morning when they woke up, they had no idea they would be helping me with run services tonight. So I appreciate you, both of you, helping me on this last minute. That's amazing. I want to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom. And I hope next time, if you see me again Friday night, tomorrow, or next Friday, that hopefully I'm in the sanctuary again. But who knows what's going to happen. So take care, everyone. Stay safe out there.